Good evening. So my name's Michelle Noonan. I'm the team leader for the area or an area in Victoria. And tonight I am joined by Georgia. And tonight we are intending to just make you a little bit more comfortable with the basics around Cookidoo. So I've been a consultant for nearly 9 years. This is the third Thermix model that I've got to play with and to love. And it's much like another child being added to the family. We love them all, but we're still in the process of learning everything about the TM7. But Cookidoo is the same no matter what machine you're on. So I'll pass you over to Georgia for Georgia to introduce herself.
Hey everyone, welcome. So I'm Georgia. I'm in Michelle's team as well. So Victoria based, obviously supporting Australia wide. Been a consultant since 2018, been a user since 2016. So started off with the team 5, the team 6, and now the lovely team 7. So it's been quite a journey. But like Michelle said, we're here to talk about the Cookidoo at the moment or today. So we'll focus on that. We'll keep it short and brief. Pop any questions you have in the chat and we'll get to them at the end of the session. So we just want to touch base on a few things. How many of you guys have actually using Cookidoo now? Just raise your hand. So Lorraine? Yep. Sorry, Paul, I can't see. Is that a hand raised? Yep, I'm assuming yep. Hazel, I know.
I haven't got my TM7 yet, but I've downloaded the app and I'm filling with that.
Excellent. All right. So
Yeah.
you're excellent. All righty. So I'll get started. So I'll just do a quick introduction to Cookidoo. So Cookidoo is our recipe platform. It's got 90,000 triple tested recipes on there, and they're from all over the world. You can choose different languages, different varieties of food, but we'll touch base on that soon. There's 13,000 recipes just in English alone. So if you speak another language, imagine how many recipes you're getting. With Cookidoo, we can do like an advanced search, or we can do a basic search. So with the advanced search, we can choose whether we want to search by ingredients, categories, dietary requirements, or anything else that's really specific. So you can see, can you all see Michelle's screen okay? Yeah, so you can see where Michelle's going into filters, and there's a big variety of things, and I haven't got my glasses actually, so I'm actually.
Oh, that's okay.
But that's okay,
Yeah,
Michelle. Yeah, so if you want to talk through that, because it's quite lit on my end, and I didn't wear my glasses today.
that's absolutely fine. So here in the filters, we can look it up via what kind of dish or recipe it is. So main, soup, starters, whatever. Here in the ingredients section, if I don't know, like in summer we grow tomatoes and we end up with bucket loads of tomatoes, you can pop tomatoes in there or zucchini or whatever you've got an abundance of, or you need to use up in your fridge, and click search. It works as well for excluded ingredients. So if you've got an intolerance, an allergy, or a passionate dislike for something, you can pop it in there as well. Tags are for things like gluten-free, specific kinds of recipes you're looking for. You can look via difficulty, which, to be honest, even if you did smash yourself with an advanced one straight up, it's all step by step. So this one, unless you've got kids cooking, I really don't think it's too much of a problem. Preparation time, so it's a big one for some people. Total time, so remember the total time includes the cooking. Prep time's just your hands-on time. How many portions? Now, the portions is a little bit, don't probably search via that too intently, because most recipes, and this will be touched on in our advanced session, you can scale them up and down a little bit too. Depending, obviously, recipes are science, so to a point. And down here, the ratings, which Georgia will talk to in a minute. You can search via which Thermomix you have. Again, if you've got a 7 or a 6, you can pretty much will do most things. The 7, there's not a lot of things you can't. There's a few things, but the 6 you can do what a 5 can do and what a 31 can do. It's the 31 because it's got a smaller bowl that doesn't have the capacity to do some of the other recipes. And 6 and 7 is where we got high heat. So those recipes would be different if you've got a 31 or a 5. Accessories wise, if you, I don't know, got an attachment and you wanted to play with it, you could tick whichever one you wanted to search. In our language section, we really always, unless you speak another language, we want it to say English. We don't want it to say Australia, because you can see English gets you nearly 13,000 results. Australia gets you 4,000. So by choosing English, you get to experience the US and the UK platform. Plus, some other countries do have the odd recipe in English, so it's really useful. And that's something we go through with you at your delivery briefing as well. When your Thermomix arrives, if it hasn't already, we just make sure that your filters are set right. However, because you can play with them, if ever you're searching and it doesn't seem like it's giving you enough of an option and you feel like it's a bit funny, just come in and have a look and see what your filters are set to. Okay, any questions there? No.
All right. So the next
And you can see here.
Sorry. Yeah.
Sorry, and you can see here what your filters are.
Yeah. All righty. So the next thing that we're going to touch on is the weekly planner. So I know with myself, I like to plan my week out so I know what I need to buy. The weekly planner, so obviously, I can see yours, Michelle's quite full.
It was last week. This week's a bit empty.
More than mine. I've got a bigger family than me, so
Yes,
definitely.
I continue boil. The more you boil, the better it is.
There we go. You good?
Good. Yeah, all good. So with the I've lost track. I'm so sorry.
I know, no, it's fine.
With the weekly planner, so obviously we can plan what we're making every day. We can also add those ingredients to a shopping list.
Yep.
We can add extra things to our shopping list, so we don't need to have two separate shopping lists. And then just an extra bonus, we can actually send those things off to Woolies online. Well, good. We can send those things to Woolies online and order them or do a click and collect. And if we don't do that, we can just take our phone with us or a tablet with us to the supermarket and just tick things off as we need. So I'll let Michelle just show us a quick rundown on how we can do that.
Yep, so just by the three, if you wanted to cook that today, you just click cook today and it'll take it through to your calendar if you're looking at a recipe that you've just searched. However, from here, you just click on the three dots and go add to shopping list, and then click over to your shopping list and you'll see by recipes what's in there. Once you've ticked off what you've got, so say I've got that, it all disappears down to the bottom. So if you do then come back and go, actually, you know, he just ate all the mushrooms, so add them back on the top. So you can play there. You can add your extra items here. No drama. Now, you can click order ingredients and it literally takes you through to Woolworths online. So it'll bring these through to your cart. Here, you can swap them around. So you just take a few minutes and going, okay, oh, I don't like that brand, I'll swap it for that, or whatever it might be. And then you add it to your Woolworths cart and it imports it to your cart, and then you can add the rest of your shopping. So that is a huge game changer. Now that's obviously with Woolworths, it's click and collect or delivery, whatever suits you. But obviously, if you didn't want to order online, you can just have this open in your app as you're popping things in the trolley, just ticking them off as they go in the cart in real life. Any questions there? What I like to do is I like to go through my recipes, each recipe, to make sure I've got everything that I want to cook this week here. And then once I hit the shop, I change it to category, just because then it groups them together a little bit easier. So you're not, if you see me with a normal shopping list, I'm at aisle 1, I'm at aisle 13, I'm at aisle 2, I'm at aisle 7, I'm at aisle 12, like I'm up and down. So this just brings it right in to have all the similar ingredients together.
Fantastic. All right. So next thing we'll touch on, and we'll go into more detail with this one when we have our advanced session. So within Cookidoo, although we have all the recipes in there, we can also import recipes. So we can import like from Recipe Community or recipes from the internet, or just you can create a recipe of your own and add it into Cookidoo as well. With that, we can also scale down our recipes like Michelle touched on before. I know some of you here do that already and create your own recipes. So Michelle will just show you briefly, but we will touch on this in a little bit more detail on Wednesday, the 2nd of July.
Yeah.
Make sure you register for that as well.
Have a look and a play if you've got Cookidoo at home, and just take notice of what recipes have the serving size and the different suggestions there.
What I personally do, I don't adjust anything, especially when I'm cooking something for the first time.
Yeah.
I'll only make a note and adjust it next time if it's too much or not enough. So
Yes.
yeah, always just go by what's recommended first, just so you know exactly what it's, producing. All right.
Absolutely.
Sorry.
I said absolutely.
My favorite thing about Cookidoo, and I'm not lazy, I promise, but the guided cooking. I absolutely love the guided cooking. So as I was saying before, I started off with a team 5, and I was lucky enough to get guided cooking. But some of the recipes that I was using, I had to import myself. So by the time you look at the paperwork, put everything in, go, next step, it does take a fair bit of time. So with Cookidoo, it's just as easy as reading off the screen, pressing next, and you're ready to go. So just for that alone, I love Cookidoo. It's just so easy, especially when you're tired. You come home, late from work or, school pickup, and you want to make something really quick. It just takes all that, that effort away, and just next. It's all loaded up with all the modes, with everything on there. And it's fantastic. So it's definitely a good tool just for that alone. If you don't have the patience to read and import, data.
I don't.
All righty. So the other thing again with Cookidoo, you can import, you can sync them. So team 7, team 6, you can search from the screen. Team 5 is alphabetical order. I think if I'm remembering correctly, Michelle, it's been a while now.
Oh yeah, you have to sync it across with the 5. Yeah, it's completely different. The 6 and the 7 is a bit more user friendly. The 7 definitely.
Yeah, the 7 I find a lot more friendlier than the 6 actually with Cookidoo. The interface is a little bit different, but yeah, it's easy to search on the screen. So if you're like me, I usually do a lot of my best work like at nighttime. Usually I'm in bed on my phone trying to find what I'm going to cook the next day or the next couple of days, and then I know it's going to be on my machine when I'm there. You can also search on the machine. So if you're more hands-on in the kitchen, go straight to the machine, search it on there. It's all easy. Especially now with the Team 7, the screen is a lot bigger. So it's a lot easier. And if you're like me and doesn't wear your glasses very often, then, the screen's a lot better and the writing is a lot bigger too. The recipes and the shopping lists on Cookidoo are easily shareable. So if I've got my list, I don't have as much as Michelle, but if I have my list and it's usually 1 or 2 recipes at a time for us, I can just share that list across to my husband. If he's out and about, he'll just stop off at, Coles or Woolies or Aldi or wherever he is and grab those ingredients for me.
Yeah.
So Michelle will just show you quickly how you can actually do that.
Yeah. So you just share that there, copy and paste it across.
So nice and easy. Yeah. So that's
have we spoke through lists? I love a recipe list. There's a few there.
What's that?
That's okay. I just saw it then and went, ooh.
Yeah, we forgot about our list. Yeah, no, it's definitely there. No, we haven't spoken about them.
So with the lists, you can see mine's in depth. And yes, if there's a demo, I name it. But things like cream on special. If I find cheap cream down the shop, I don't have to think. I just grab it, come home, click on this, and I've put all sorts of things that I've made in the past when I've found cream on special. Now, freezer school lunch prep, whatever suits you and your family. So you name these. Batch cooking for when I do massive cook-ups in the holidays, kids' parties, gifts, freezer prep, like whatever, Mr. Fussy Pants, that was for one of my kids that was being a pain. One of my kids who's now sitting beside me, when he was cute and little and now he's big, he made this playlist when he was about 8 or 9 years old of things that he wanted to make or he wanted me to make for him. So he made the apple tart. The rest are pretty much all on the wish list still, I think. or the sour cream and chicken enchiladas and the slow cooked pulled pork. We've made all of those. But it was a really good thing to get him to learn to read and get interested in reading because, you know, not everybody, not all kids understand that they absolutely must need to read. So for him, this was his thing. This made him tick. And from then he just kept reading at school, which was great. So what I'm getting at is whatever suits you and your family, you can just keep creating more lists. You just click create a list and you write it in and you press save. And then as you're scrolling through, like Georgia said, if you're scrolling through trying to get some inspiration to see something else to cook and you think, oh, that's really good, you just add it to a list so that you don't lose it. Because as you can appreciate with 13,000 recipes, it goes pretty quick and it goes out of your brain pretty quick because there's so much to choose from. So I really highly recommend as soon as you get Cookidoo, creating lists that do sort of mean whatever's going to work for your family.
I think one of my favorite lists that I have on my Cookidoo, I actually call it things to make. So as I'm scrolling socials, or a customer might message me and say, "Hey, I made this tonight and it was amazing."
Yep.
I put it in the memory bank because I'll forget about it, in a week or 2 weeks. And then when I'm going through, my recipes, wondering what I'm going to make for dinner, I just go into that list. And there's all the things that I've, always wanted to make. So that's a really good one to do, especially if you're just starting out, because like Michelle said, like there is a lot of recipes, like there's 13,000 just in Australian. You just want to pop them in one of those categories where you just, name it whatever you want to name it. But mine's things to make. And that way you can always fall back on it when you're not sure what to make.
Yep, so absolutely. Yep, I agree. It's very, very handy. And let's not forget this front cover. We always forget this front page. Now, this front page changes. It's full of inspiration. I know when I'm not sure if I want to make something different, I always scroll this cover page first. And now it's even sort of more in tune to what you might like to make since the Cookidoo update. So this is all different. So we might be a little bit clunky because this looks completely different to how it looked a few months ago. So here you can scroll through, there's videos, there's all these ideas here, slow cook this winter. So it's a little bit of inspo. You can also see the latest collections. So collections are essentially a little cookbook. And we've got a whole heap of different topics. There's so many. So if you want to, get some inspiration, taste the world. Okay, let's have a look. So if there's something here that you want, you just click on it and go cook today, or add it to my week, or add it to a recipe list and go, okay, I'm going to add it to that one. And it'll save in there for you. Now, everything you do on Cookidoo is live over to your Thermomix. It's only the 5 that you need to sync it across if you've got a cook key. As soon as I come over here and if I put something, let's put pavlova, just because that's just something I'd love to eat, but I can't. Add it to my week and let's go. I'm going to make that tonight. I'm not, but can you see my other screen at all where I've got the TM7? I'm trying to fight the glare a little bit here. But this is the front page. If I click my week, you'll see that it's come across. See, it's in there because it's live. It's a Wi-Fi. So I really urge you to definitely have a look at this front cover whenever you're not sure what to make or you want to add something. There's lots of little articles too. See, this month there's women's nutrition. And then you've got some Master Thermomix little things and little tutorials. And some more information. They've made it really clever. So you've got all these tips and tricks you can read through and watch tutorials, etc. So there's stuff on savings, layered cooking. I know someone was asking me about that the other day. So this is all about how to love your Varoma. So if you sit through and have a look through, I don't know, one thing every couple of days or every week, you're going to get a lot of tips and tricks. Any questions on that?
Michelle, I'm not sure if you can see the chat. Hazel's just asked a question. She's just asked if the created collections can go in alphabetical order. I haven't really dug that deep to see if they can.
Created, my list, or?
So, is your list in alphabetical order there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's only because I've got numbers.
Oh, okay.
Oh no, but even the recipes, I mean, as well, because I use a lot of bookmarks. But I find that they're just in whatever order I save them in, not in
Oh,
alphabetical.
you mean bookmarks?
Yeah, even bookmarks or even all your recipes that you save, they're not in order.
No,
So if you save them in as a recipe list, if every list that you save is in alphabetical order,
But not the recipes.
but not the recipes themselves, no.
Yeah.
No.
And is there any way to save the recipes in alphabetical order?
I
Or
don't
to
think so.
resort them in alphabetical order?
I don't think so, but I feel like that would be more of a problem on bookmarks. Because
Okay.
these are sort of small, like if you create enough recipe lists to sort of fine tune it out, you probably won't have a lot to scroll through. But I can see how bookmarks it would be a problem. But if you move yourself across from bookmarks to recipe lists, you'll probably find things a little bit better.
Yeah. Yeah.
So all of these bookmarks are pretty much, well, when I've been showing customers, I don't use bookmarks at all. I use my list just because it's easier to find it, I find. But no, good question.
Okay. Thank you.
Sorry.
No, it's okay.
Paul's got a question as well, if we can, Michelle.
yeah.
He's just asking, are the recipes you create yourself synced and remain on the Thermomix without an active Cookidoo subscription?
I don't believe so. So Cookidoo is like Netflix. If you stop paying, you stop streaming. It's not really any different. It's a little bit more forgiving in that it'll give you so many uses before it cuts out. But that's also how you get your updates through from Vorwerk. So, I mean, back in the day, I've got a whole cupboard full of books over there. We used to have to buy a book and a chip for about $80 for the set. Anybody who's had an older machine, if it was a chip, but if it was a 31, you had to buy the books. And then you went, okay, I want to make sour cream and chicken enchiladas. And then you go, which recipe book's it in? And then you'd go, okay, everyday cooking for families, I think. And then you'd go flicking through and find it. Whereas this, you just click it all in and you don't have a whole cupboard full of books that you don't want to flick through. But it does include all of those updates. And as they create more content and more collections drop, you get them as soon as. It's not like, oh, we've just released a big collection, but you need to pay an extra $10 for that. It's all included. So we get lots of new content all the time. Any other questions? They're good questions. I like these questions. No? Has anyone tried this off tap? Smashed burger taco.
They have been on that list of mine for a very long time.
I actually made them and they were super fun.
Oh, really?
Got to work fast, but they were fun. Anyway, I digress. I just kept saying them there going, oh, I remember they were good. I need to make them again. But yeah. Any other questions that we've got?
Michelle,
Yeah. Hi,
Rachel here. Hey, I'm just wondering, like, this Cookidoo is actually for Australia, right? How am I going to access those recipe from Singapore?
You just go in and change so you must sign up to the Australian platform because otherwise it gets confused.
Yeah.
But then you can change the language. So if we go into, that's in filters, isn't it, Georgia?
Mm-hmm.
Profile? Yeah. Oh, that, yep.
Actually, if we go into the main profile, I think it's in there. Sorry, it's
there,
all
yeah.
different. So if you go into your profile down
Yeah.
here and update the filter, you can add other languages.
Yeah. Okay.
So if you add the other language that you speak and then save it, then you'll get both on there.
Okay. So how about the cookidoo .com.sg? We can't access that, right? Or
No. And to be honest, even if you signed up for another country's
Yeah.
Cookidoo,
Yeah.
you just can't access it here. It doesn't work.
Oh, okay.
But if you do it this way, you get shared access of it. So they all have an agreement to share each other's platforms, if that makes sense. So
Okay.
you just need to choose the other language. And so out of those, I don't know, 90,000 recipes, you might find that there's the 13,000 in English and there's 15,000 in another language that you speak. And then so you get the combined total on yours.
Okay, okay. I'll try that. I'll try that. Thank
Yes,
you.
so just in your profile and change your language. Yeah, it's really good that they've got that sort of agreement. So Vorwerk in Germany own us, and every country's got their own Cookidoo platform.
Okay.
And yeah, we just share them via the language.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. Okay. Thanks for that. Yeah.
okay. That's a good question too. All these
Yeah.
questions I haven't had before tonight, they're good.
Okay. Just while you're on that page there, Michelle, I just want to point out something too. It's just prompted me now.
Yep.
See with the filter preferences, which have got the accessories, when you first get your Thermomix, for those of you that haven't got one yet, just make sure you untick the ones that you don't have, because you might get halfway through a recipe and then it might ask you to put in a cutter, or it might ask you to put in your sensor and you might not have it. So it's best to untick them. And if and when you decide to buy your accessories, go back into your preferences and tick them back up. So that way you've got all those recipes and you can use them.
Absolutely. And have a play here with what matters to you most in your family. And then, yeah, this is like the master filter, isn't it, Georgia? That's how I call it. It's like the boss of all filters with the language and the version. But I leave everything open except, like, I agree. There's nothing worse than getting to the end of a recipe and you don't have a blade cover. You won't have meatballs, you'll have mince. So yeah, great suggestion there. And you can personalize it and put your name in and all that sort of thing. That photo's a bit old. I need a new photo. There we go.
Yeah.
Cool. Is there anything else we've forgotten off our list, Georgia?
I think I've ticked most of it off.
We've got it all. We were trying to brainstorm what would everybody need to know straight up first up. We'll get everyone got on their way with that.
I've ticked everything off that we had on our list. I think we're okay unless there's any more questions. And of course, don't forget, if you do get your Thermomix, or if you're playing around with your Thermomix, you get stuck at any time, your consultant's there to help you anyway. Send them a quick message, or that they would have communicated with you, whether for like sort of like a messenger or a text message or a phone call. Don't forget, they're always there for you. So you're not stuck, trying to work things out for yourself. Like, reach out. And obviously we've got the Team 7 group as well, where you can just pop a question on a post. And if your consultant isn't available, someone else can help you as well.
Absolutely. That's what it's intended for. And for those of you who haven't received their 7s just yet, remember when they do arrive, that's time to call your consultant, let them know that it's arrived, and do your delivery demo with them. That way we can go over all of this again and make sure all is well and you're going to get the most out of your Thermomix investment. Awesome. All right. Well, no more questions because I can't see the chat.
Yeah, chat's all empty.
Chat's empty? Yeah. Well, thank you so much. We were like, well, let's try and keep it half an hour so we don't send anybody their bedtime story, put them to sleep. We're very excited, obviously, to be able to offer you guys some extra support sessions at the moment. If that's something that you enjoy, we're open to feedback. Reply my email and go, Michelle, you put me to sleep, or really like to know more about XYZ. That way we know, how we can help best. We'll see you at the next one, maybe.
Yes, thank you so much for that, Michelle. It was really good.
That's all right. You guys have a lovely night. And I'll send you a follow-up email with the next session's links in it too.
Okay. Yep. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.